A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant display of military might, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier in the U.S. Navy, has arrived in the Caribbean Sea, raising eyebrows and questions about the Trump administration's intentions in South America. The deployment, which includes nearly a dozen Navy ships and approximately 12,000 sailors and Marines, is part of Operation Southern Spear, a mission that the administration claims is focused on countering drug trafficking in the region. However, many observers see this as a strategic move aimed at increasing pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whose regime has faced accusations of narcoterrorism and corruption. Since early September, U.S. military strikes have resulted in the deaths of at least 80 individuals in 20 separate attacks on small vessels accused of transporting drugs. These operations have taken place in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific waters, leading to a surge in military presence that some experts describe as the largest buildup of U.S. firepower in the region in generations. Rear Admiral Paul Lanzolata, who commands the strike group, emphasized that this deployment is designed to safeguard U.S. security and prosperity against what he termed narco-terrorism in the Western Hemisphere. In a statement, Admiral Alvin Halsey, who oversees military operations in the Caribbean and Latin America, reiterated the readiness of American forces to combat transnational threats that could destabilize the region. This show of force comes at a time when Trinidad and Tobago, located just 11 kilometers from Venezuela, has begun joint military exercises with the U.S. officials. These training sessions are aimed at addressing violent crime and drug trafficking, which has made the island a key transit point for narcotics headed to Europe and North America. Venezuela's government has reacted strongly to the U.S. military's actions, labeling the training exercises as an act of aggression. The Maduro administration has not yet commented on the arrival of the USS Gerald R. Ford, but it has previously accused the U.S. of fabricating a war against its leadership. President Trump has indicated that military operations may extend beyond maritime strikes, suggesting a comprehensive approach to thwart drug trafficking that could involve land-based actions as well. Despite the U.S. government's claims regarding the legitimacy of its military strikes, critics have pointed out the lack of evidence supporting assertions that those targeted were involved in narcoterrorism. The administration's narrative has faced skepticism, both domestically and from international observers, as questions arise regarding the legal justification for such military actions. The political landscape surrounding these developments is complex. Key figures, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, have publicly condemned Maduro's government, which they accuse of collaborating with drug traffickers. The U.S. has long employed aircraft carriers as a means of exerting pressure on foreign nations, using their capacity to strike deep within a country as a deterrent against aggression. However, some analysts argue that the USS Gerald R. Ford may not be the ideal instrument for targeting drug cartels, although it could serve as a powerful symbol of U.S. military presence and resolve. Elizabeth Dickinson, a senior analyst for the International Crisis Group, emphasized that this deployment sends a clear message regarding U.S. military power in Latin America, raising anxieties not only in Venezuela but throughout the region. Many are watching closely to see how the U.S. will utilize this military force and whether it will escalate tensions further. As the situation develops, it is clear that the arrival of the USS Gerald R. Ford marks a pivotal moment in U.S.-Latin American relations, particularly concerning the ongoing crisis in Venezuela. With the stakes high and regional dynamics shifting, the world will be keenly observing the implications of this military buildup and the potential for further conflict in a region already fraught with tension. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.